Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel that's dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle, or eating one meal a day. Well, today I want to expose some health myths. These have been around for a while. They're often repeated a lot on the internet and in person by well-meaning people who are trying to help, particularly when they find out that you're going on a weight loss journey. But overall, these myths are borderline dangerous, mostly untrue, actually all untrue. And I want to expose them today because they could be hindering your progress or preventing you from trying OMAD or trying some legitimate weight loss journey to get yourself a little bit healthier. These are 9 of what I believe are the most common ones that keep coming up all of the time. I hear them a lot, and I want to bring them to light today so we can kind of discuss why they are false. All right, so number one, obviously, you need 3 square meals a day. This couldn't be any further from the truth. There are a lot of people out there that believe that if you just miss even one of your meals during the day, or even if you don't snack when you were supposed to snack, that it's going to completely throw your metabolism out of whack, that you're going to go into starvation mode. I've got news for you, folks. It doesn't work that way. Okay, there is no scientific evidence, nothing scientific backing up this idea that we need to eat 3 square meals a day. It is 3 square meals a day has their origins in high society, and if you research it, it's more of a upper crust European culture that was brought over here to America. At the time, the Native Americans who were here basically just ate seasonally, and they ate when they were hungry and whatever they could get. And when they had big feasts, they shared it with their clan. And when food was scarce, well, then they had fat reserves in their body that they lived off of. This was a natural human cycle for a long time. So we're talking millions of years. It's just how it was. It's not like we had access to all of the food that we have today. 10, 15, 20,000 years ago. I mean, even 200 years ago, you just didn't have the amount of food that we have today. So this idea that we need to have 3 square meals, totally false. Nothing wrong with skipping a meal or two. And those of you out there who have been hanging out with me and trying OMAD, you quickly see that when you skip a meal or you just go to eating 1 meal a day, that everything is fine. And you do quite well, and actually your numbers improve greatly. All right, so number 2, the myth that you'll starve. All right, we talked about that briefly in this last one, but a lot of people, when they hear that you're going to eat 1 meal a day or you're going to be doing some sort of intermittent fasting, will say, oh no, don't do that. You'll go into starvation mode. You're going to starve. This is false. It's not how the human body works. We have plenty of fat reserves on us. We have glycogen stores, we have muscle. We're not going to starve if we miss a meal, if we miss a day of meals, or probably even a week's worth of meals. If that were the case, we would have never evolved, and we never would have lived as long as we have as human beings. Again, we have a tremendous amount, an overflow of food in our human experience right now. And we've never had that historically. This is something new to us. And so we just don't appreciate that. We don't understand that. And we think that this is how it's always been. Well, it hasn't. And the reason we don't die is we have fat reserves on our body. That's what it's there for. That's why sometimes we've put on weight. And when you don't have food coming in, your body still needs energy to function. So it will use up some of your glycogen, and when that's depleted, then it's going to go for your fat reserves, and it's going to turn that into energy. That is how we survive. If it didn't do that, then after a day or two of not eating, we'd be dead. So you can see how advantageous it is for us to have this sort of backup generator within us. And so when people get down on themselves for being a little bit overweight, I just tell them, listen, look at it this way. You've got a whole bunch of stored fuel for when times are scarce. You've put it in your shed, and you never touch it. Now is the time to unlock your shed and get out that stored fuel and use it with fasting. Okay, so that's another myth. You're not going to starve. Number 3, you're going to lose muscle. This is false. And science has actually proven that when you're fasting, you get an increase in HGH, or human growth hormone. Why is this? Well, think about it in terms of evolution. Let's say today we're in the winter, and so food is scarce, and I go out for the hunt, and I go to gather, and I'm fishing, and whatever I could do, but I come out empty-handed. If I lost muscle when I didn't eat, then the next day I went to go out and do that, I would have an exponentially less amount of muscle, which would mean it would be even harder for me to go out and do all of those things for me to get food. And if it was a couple of days where that happened, if it were tough times and really lean and in the dead of winter and nothing's growing, nothing's going on, it's really hard to find food, after a couple of days, I would be so physically weak, it would be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I would just die because I wouldn't physically be able to even go and get any food. So science has looked at this, and it turns out that we actually have a increase in HGH when we are fasting. It helps us in the rebuilding process when we're using our muscles during the day, along with protein. But we are not going to lose any muscle when we are fasting. That is a myth. Okay. Number 4, you must exercise to lose weight. This is false. I've lost over 50 pounds on this journey, and I do not have a gym membership, and I don't plan on getting one anytime soon. I'm not saying that exercise is bad. Exercise is great for you. There are a ton of benefits for it, and if there's something that you like specifically, definitely go out and do it. I'm not knocking you for that at all, but if you're trying to lose weight, you don't have to exercise. You don't have to join a gym. You don't have to do the Rocky montage, and you don't have to hire a trainer that are kind of like the trainers from The Biggest Loser, barking at you and yelling at you and making you feel small and weak. It's totally not necessary. All right? The power of all of this comes with the fast, and you allow your body to access its stored fuel. The weight comes off. You feel better. You look better. That is not. I'm not saying that food is the enemy here. Okay, it does play an important part, and so does good nutrition. But the real power of this comes in the fasting, and not necessarily pumping iron at the gym for a couple hours a day. Again, if it's something, excuse me, if it's something that you enjoy doing, by all means go for it. And you should be active. You should be moving around. This is how we've always been as human beings. So find something you like. Me, I like low impact things. I like walking. I like stretching, yoga, some body weight exercises and planks, things like that. This is just things that I like to do informally. I try to get 10,000 steps a day. Pretty much every day I hit that. Sometimes I'm a little over or a tad bit under. But this idea that the only way to lose weight is by doing intense exercise, totally false. Number 5, you can spot reduce fat. Remember all those ads for all those stupid abdominal machines and those butt tightening machines, little devices you would see on infomercials in the middle of the night that show some overweight person trying to do a sit-up, and they use this machine, and then lo and behold, magically by the end of the commercial, their stomach is flat. It's false. It's been proven false by science that if you just do a bunch of sit-ups, for example, that you'll just get a flat stomach and your fat around your stomach will go away. You cannot spot reduce fat. Your body reduces fat at a seemingly random kind of way. You can aid in doing things that would reduce fat, mostly through diet and a really good fasting protocol like we call for on here, allowing your body to access its stored fat. But even when doing it, while I'm fasting, I'm not thinking, oh, good, today or this week when I'm fasting, I'm going to concentrate on getting rid of all my stomach fat. I'm sorry, folks, it doesn't work that way, and it's been proven so a while ago by science. Number 6, calories don't matter. They absolutely do matter. If you're going to bicker over 20, 30, 40 calories, and I think in the grand scheme of things, that's not the big issue. The problem is often when people hear, oh, I can eat one meal a day, I can eat what I want until I'm full, they think it means that they can turn it into an all-out binge and consume 3, 4. I've seen some people go as high as 5,000 calories in a meal. The truth is that if you do that and you're not burning 5,000 calories throughout your day, you're going to eventually put on some weight. And I wish it wasn't so, but if you consume a massive amount of calories every single day, it's going to catch up to you. You will put on weight. I don't count calories. I don't weigh my food. But when I first started this whole journey out, I counted calories just to give myself an idea of what I was consuming every day. And there are good calorie counting apps and websites out there to let you know how many calories you would need to maintain your weight. I'd suggest you go and look them up and check it out, just to give yourself an idea and a ballpark of about how big of a meal that you should keep your OMAD, so that you don't go too crazy with it. Because generally speaking, if you're sticking to one plate, or if you've got your food all laid out in front of you, and you're being smart and reasonable about it, and you're incorporating whole foods in there, it's really hard for you to go over 1,400, 1,500 calories in a day. So that's, again, but I'm so tired of hearing people say, well, calories don't matter, you can eat what you want. That's just stupid. They do matter. Right? Number 7, you should have high energy all day. This is new culture in America where we have to be like bouncing off the walls all the time. And I know we have a very high-paced, action-packed kind of corporate world that we live in now. But I mean, with the 5-hour energies and people drinking 10 cups of coffee a day, with the diet sodas and the caffeine and the rock stars, and it's just getting to be a bit much. There are some days where we're just a little bit more tired than others. Those are the days where you need to listen to your body. Your body is probably trying to tell you that you need your rest. Sleep is very important. The truth is that in this country, we're like a sleep epidemic. Many people stay up really late at night. They get up early. They don't even get a really nice deep sleep when they do sleep. And so you wake up and you're exhausted. So what's the first thing you do when you're exhausted? You reach for the energy drinks. You reach for coffee and stimulants, which can be taxing for the heart. Even if they're 0 calorie, the point is you're not always going to have high energy every single day. It's usually a warning sign to listen to your body and say, hey, you know what? I need to take some rest. I need to start being more mindful and making sure that I'm getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single night, or at the very least 7 hours. And you want to make sure that you're getting high quality sleep. Number 8, with the right diet, I'll never get sick, I'll never age, or I'll never die. Recently, I clicked on a YouTube video. I believe it was titled "How Not to Die." It was a video made by a doctor who was a vegan. The whole point of it was, to get more people to come over to the vegan side of things. That if you just adopted a vegan diet, the implication is that you're never going to die, you're never going to get sick, et cetera, et cetera. I'm here to tell you folks that this is a huge myth, and I'm not trying to get down on people who are vegan or on keto or whatever else, but there's actually this mantra they would teach people who were in Buddhism. They would say, I am of the nature to get old, I am of the nature to get sick, I am of the nature to die. And it's not that this particular brand of Buddhism was trying to teach people to be miserable or to depress people. They wanted you to get in touch with reality, and that is that no matter what you do, no matter how great your intentions are, we're not going to live forever. Okay? We are human beings. We do get sick, we do get tired, we get run down. Does that mean that you should just throw it all away and say, to hell with it, and just go and do whatever you want? Well, that choice is yours. But remember, when we're here, we might as well have the highest quality of life that we can, so we can enjoy our family, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. Longevity is key. But if you think that if I just find that right diet and that right way of eating, I'll never be sick and I'll live to 150 years old, I've got news for you folks. Keep looking. Let me know if you find it, because it's not out there and you're not going to find it. We live in an imperfect world. That's how it is. And even if you're not eating, GMO food, if you're eating all organic and you're vegan and you're exercising perfectly every single day and you're always going to the doctor for checkups, I'm sorry, but you're still going to get sick once in a while. You're still going to be tired every now and then, and we are of the nature to get sick and die at some point. I don't want to be very dark and gloomy in this video, but it's one myth that we need to get out of our head. And I hear it a lot from people. It's like whenever somebody has a heart attack or whenever somebody is sick, the first thing they say is, well, they used to love to eat hot dogs, or they used to eat that too much pizza or too much cheese, as if you could really pinpoint and prove that that cheese or that hot dog or that whatever they ate or the too many carbs that they used to like, if that exact thing was what caused their heart attack or what caused the cancer or whatever it was, you would never be able to prove that anywhere. The only thing you'd be able to prove is that that person got the heart attack or the cancer or the illness. Excuse me. So, I'm not trying to be all dark and gloomy here with that, but you do need to realize that there is really no perfect diet out there, but we can have a very high quality of life, and that's what I'm trying to teach and get through to this channel. Longevity is the key. And lastly, cooking at home is hard and expensive. All right, this isn't really a health myth, but this is just a common myth that I hear around. I hear a lot of people. I think that's why fast food is becoming so appealing today. Why the average American eats out at restaurants 4.5 times a week. When my grandparents' generation, it was 4.5 times a year. It's very cheap food and it's very convenient. We live busy lives, and people think, well, I have to shop. It's a lot of prep time and dishwashing and cleaning. It's a lot of work. I'm here to tell you it's not expensive. It's not a lot of work. It just takes a little practice. That's all. And like in other countries, particularly in France, get your kids involved. If you have kids, if you have a spouse, if you have a significant other, get them involved. Help out. It's very communal. It's very it's nice to just have a few people sharing in an experience together, cooking for one another. And I'm telling you, I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and my 1-year-old, he's a little bit too young for it, but my 2-year-old loves going shopping with me, picking things out, helping me in the kitchen whenever she can. And he started that at an early age where kids learn what food is and where it comes from and how it's prepared. They get excited about it, especially if they have the opportunity to have a hand in picking things out about it. And those are the sort of lessons that follow them later in life that really make for healthy living, that good foundation. Instead of teaching our children that food comes in brown bags out of a window while you get it in your car, it's not the lesson that I want to give to my children. And yeah, we're not perfect here, and some days where we do eat fast food, but for the most part, we cook and bake here every day, and I want them to know that that's where food comes from. And you don't have to be a 5-star chef to be able to whip up dinner at night. Okay, pick things that are simple and quick. Those things that you buy at fast food places that you think are really cheap are actually much cheaper to make at home, and you can make more of it for the same price, if not less. So really, I hope on this channel too, on top of excuse me, sorry, Dave. I hope in this channel, on top of learning how to control your weight and control your eating and having a nice plan for your food, I hope in imploring the knowledge of fasting and in putting that into your life, I hope I can encourage you to get into the kitchen and make some fresh food and try cooking some more at home. I really hope I do. But those are my health and OMAD related myths that I wanted to share with you today. Did I miss any? Are there anything that you can think of? Do you agree with me or you disagree on some of these? Please let me know in the comments section. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. I hope OMAD is working for you. I hope your fasting is going well. And I will see you on the next video.